October 13th, 2016. Blades log, second log. I just uploaded my episode 32 preview, and I saw a bunch of comments that really made me happy. You guys were telling me that, it could be that there are different voice actors, using the example of Proar and Kampa. And that really makes me happy because I know you guys are trying to keep my hope alive and, just keep the surprise there, and I appreciate that. Unfortunately, you guys didn't zero in on the fact that what tripped me off was not the voice itself in the beginning. It was Era. Let's go back. I just looked at this clip since I uploaded my waifu video literally yesterday, so I watched that clip recently. Let's take a look at what I said when I first saw Uzume.
Is she the Dreamcast CPU? Is she the CPU of Planetoon in this era?
Before I even knew about what was the deal with the Zero Dimension, I assumed that the Dreamcast CPU, as I said in my Rebirth 3 is Rebirth 2's past video, that the Dreamcast CPU came before Neptune. Based on a couple of things, I never once thought that this was the Uzume that I know. Right? But when I heard it, I almost instantly knew. This one, I feel very strongly about, is the hyperdimension version, or I'm just going to dub M. So why do I call M? I've let it in the past, what you guys say, prevent me from making my theories publicly known, right? But I'm not gonna do that this time. Regardless of what you guys say, regardless of how you may laugh at me and how wrong I am, remember that I am playing this blind. So, regardless, it may be ridiculous, but that's my current theory. So, why do I call M? Well, first off, I have to say that my favorite character in this series has very similar similarities to a character in another series. I'm not saying it's a reference that, they both have wrist communicators.
Alright guys.
We're about halfway through evacuation. I'd advise you start heading back now.
Why?
What the hell? Are you freaking kidding me?
Transmission from HQ.
Or they both have similar color schemes, or they both wear skates, or perhaps the fact that they both lost their memory kind of puts a hole in...
What the? No, hold up. Whoa.
さっきの頭痛は初めて聞いたはずなのに何なんだこの違和感は。
I'm definitely feeling suppressed memories there. Definitely.
Shadow the Hedgehog. Why does that name haunt me? It's the only thing I can remember.
Or perhaps that one character was originally an exclusive in the other character's console, or that they're both powerful members of their race.
Don't bother. With the Chaos Emerald's power, I control time and space. You can't break free.
Sharing
Yo, Uzume gets one too?
What is this power?
This is a sub-dimension created by Uzume's ability. It uses share energy as a medium.
So, yeah, it's similar to...
Or that they're both favorite characters in their respective series. My favorite character. That's not a reference. I'm not going to say that. But it does make them very close to my heart. That they have those similarities. Now, why does that matter? Well, and here comes the theory part. I believe for them to have something else in common. someone who looks just like them. His name is Mephiles, and by far he is the most successful and most threatening villain in the entire game franchise. Now, I'm not sure what version it is, but M to me means a dark version of my favorite character. And with that all said, there's one thing that worries me. That if they are continuing these similarities, again, not a reference, but if this particular part happens.
So, decided to void your return ticket now, did you?
Why are you here? Did you ruin this world?
The answer is yes and no. Perhaps it's better to show you. Yes, that's you. After the world was devastated by Iblis's flames, what do you think happened? A search for the guilty. Who did this, you may ask? Humanity wasn't just jealous of your power. They feared it. They used this incident as an excuse to hunt you down. Let us punish this foolish world of humanity. It's only fair to give back what was intended for you. You have every right to want justice.
When I was looking at Uzume's past in the Zero Dimension, I was trying to draw parallels as to what happened in the Hyper Dimension as well. Unlike before, where when Eastwar saw Plutia, there was no reaction. With Uzume, there was. And that basically confirmed to me that some kind of way Eastwar has seen an Uzume-like figure before. The Uzume I know lost her memories and was able to meet Neptune, Nepgear, and has Umio. It doesn't take much to turn that story. Several things that drew my attention was when Nepgear saw the logs and an assassination attempt was done on Uzume's life, and it seems like she had such a terrible time. With no one to help her, it's very possible that Uzume could have gone through the wrong path. And furthermore, in the Hyper Dimension, it makes sense as to why she would come. I've said before that I thought Rei and Uzume were the same kind of class of CPU. If we assume that Uranus's battle with R4 took place before Uzume's reign, then we can say that it was most likely a defense for R4 that Uzume came about. After all, when Uzume used her sharing field, R4 could not use her powers. That seems oddly strange, doesn't it? If we assume that that's the case, especially since Eastwar, who I assume is the one who wrote the logs, and also seems to know who Uzume is, and the fact that this new person, M, has used things like "I'll teach you a good dream," there's no doubt in my mind, guys. I just don't want to believe it. But all the pieces line up perfectly. That our villain is the hyperdimension version of Uzume. And that's what worries me. Regardless of if it is a different version or not, it's still her.